Hello, my amazing global environmental studies students. How are you? It is week 5 already. You are halfway done with the quarter. So I hope you're doing well, staying safe and healthy, and getting outside. For now, this week, we're going to talk about food and agriculture, environmental health, and toxicity. And you might be wondering, how is this an environmental studies issue? Well, it is. If you think about it, growing our food takes using the earth, right? What happens over time when you're planting things, when you're using pesticides? You can have some serious effects to the environment. There's things called soil exhaustion, nutrient depletion, and if you use too much fertilizer, for example, that can get into waterways and affect so much of the algae and the organisms that are living in those waterways. Agriculture is a major industry in the US. So there's, over 2.2 million farms just in the US alone. And we all need to eat. We all need food and water. So this kind of food and food availability and food production has all really been part of the environmental science dialogue since forever. And environmental health and toxicology kind of go hand in hand with environmental agriculture and food production because of the overuse of the land. So there's a lot of issues with environmental health and, for example, the Flint, Michigan water and how it was contaminated. And this happens quite often, and this is happening in the US. This isn't only happening, in other countries. So even with our Clean Air Act and our Clean Water Act, people have been very, very harmed by environmental issues. I remember growing up years ago in Santa Barbara and looking out toward the ocean, and it was just this smog. You could barely see the islands. And there was, brown haze some days. And that was from all the pollution coming out of cars in Los Angeles. And once the Clean Air Act was passed and cars had to have less emissions, it made such a huge difference. But you all know from the fires we've had recently that the air quality so affects your ability to lead a good life. You can't go outside, there's coughing, you have sore throat, you have sore eyes, right? That's just from our fires. We're so lucky that we don't live like that all the time. So environmental health and safety are key issues, and you're going to have a food and health forum post due by Wednesday at midnight, and then a 100-word response due at least by Sunday at midnight to minimum of 3 people. In addition, this week, you could work on your field paper. This is when you're going to go outside in nature with plants and animals, and you're going to go visit somewhere. You're going to sit with a piece of paper and a pencil, and you're going to spend some time making observations. You could just take a photo of this sheet and upload it. This is not actually due until December 11th. I'm giving you the whole quarter to do it. But I just want you to spend time and take your knowledge that you've learned so far in this class and look at the landscape. Tell me about it. What is the topography? Are there trees? What's the soil like? What are the rocks like? What type of biome and habitat are you in? Are you by water? Are you in a dry area? What are the plants and trees that you see? And then spend some time listening. What do you hear? Do you see any animals? What are they? Can you describe them if you can't name them? How do you feel when you're there? Can you draw anything and describe it? Can you take a picture? Put that in your assignment. So this should be about 2 pages double spaced. I'd like for you to spend at least an hour and a half out in nature somewhere and write this up. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, it's not due till the end, but it's an experience for you in nature. And I want you to think about what you've learned in this class while you're experiencing nature and add any of those concepts into this assignment. I look forward to reading your posts this week. I have loved reading them. Thank you all for your engagement and participation. It's just so fun to see what you can take from the reading and what you see when you read something in the news. And I hope you do a lot of self-care this week, and I will see you online.